master, the ringleader, so to speak.
That'll be exciting though.
But no, super exciting. Brat's also one of the admins of the US Mario Kart LAN scene with me. And Manklor, who was also an SNS champion here, big part of the scene as well as rookie. So the Ohio scene's kind of popping off. And by the way, shout outs too. I know LA Cruiser and some of the players here from the Vegas West Coast community, they're going to actually be going to, in mid-February, going to Ohio to go out of region to play against their squad. So that's going to be really exciting to see. But back to the action here though. Phantom here in 11th. Not a bad position to be in here though on RNC Pidgey.
Yeah, it really isn't. Oh! That's some excitement, I must say. Let's see. And you can see it on their face. Oh,
man,
no.
Phantom should not be playing poker. He's going to have to work on that poker face. But he's doing something smart. He's analyzing the map. Waited till pot 11 got out of their dodge, out of that bill. And this is actually a great spot because the blue is not affected.
Look
and
at
now,
that.
Phantom's in first with guaranteed defense. Great job. Oh, and what a pull. What a pull.
Oh, my God.
Phantom here can make dividends out of this play.
I need every single Saturday Night Speedway player to write down what exactly they did.
And the shock is nerfed. The shock is nerfed. Phantom with a phenomenal job there. How is Mario Party King and the company going to react here?
By getting hit by a boomerang. That's exactly how it's going to happen. But still, oh, I had no
Mario Party King's going down, man.
Oh, no. Bear is here in third place without any defense. And there is Bonnie trailing right behind him. Bobby is here, though. Let's see what they're going to be able to do with this loadout.
Is Phantom going to try and cheese him here? No, actually, that was a smart move by Phantom. He's just going to have to eat second place. Bobby with the win. Gets around Phantom there with the mushrooms. But again, if you're Phantom, you played that race as perfectly as you can. Do not be upset that Bobby beat you.
Yeah, Bonnie got third there, too. Showing up. Really saying, hey, you know what? I'm still going to get top 3 podium finish. But still, like you said, that is a textbook use of a great shot.
Shout out to the team over here for following Phantom through that. Like, it's really exciting to see when a player gets a pull like that. And again, you could see his face light up. Like, this is kind of like poker, but you're moving at 100 miles an hour. And you know,
can tell he was also,
you can tell he was excited,
nervous.
but he didn't spam it. He waited. He noticed that player in pot 11, that was actually Sports Joey. He waited till Joey got out of the bill and used Joey as his timing mechanism to time it and move him up. And you saw him too. He got the defense and he got an amazing pull once he got into first with that sound horn and the banana.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And we're going back to Berlin Byways. It's going to be quite interesting to see all these talented racers to go into this new Wave 3 DLC track. I was hoping to see London Loop, but still, Berlin, I enjoy this one. Interchangeable.
Chat's wild right now. Love it. I love to see it.
Same. It is ridiculous. And you know what? Shock's even something that I struggle with, you know what, using it, because you want to use Shock to put yourself in the best position possible, right? It doesn't matter if maybe you didn't use it to the front of the pack as well, but you really want to focus on the players in front of you so that you can help yourself as much as possible. But Phantom, amazing work with that Shock.
Well, while this race kind of sorts itself out, there's really a few things when you think about the Shock and how you're going to be able to use it effectively. Now, maybe that was luck for Phantom, or maybe he's been doing his homework and studying his flashcards, but he was aware of where the players were on the map, and then also, too, he was aware that he had just passed that item set when he got Joey out of the bill, but also, too, he knew probably that that other item set was so far up the road, he got all of those players sandwiched in between the two sets. So basically, the entire field was rendered useless to be able to get any item. We'll see if it happens here.
That is the question. You see Super Dario going to be able to grab that single item box. They're going to be able to grab a very actually ideal loadout, but they also got to be careful here. Mario Party King going to get dragged. Unfortunately, gets bumped to the side, and then the game says they were closer to the green than they actually were. Phantom here in third place. We're going to be seeing them with those only 2 points. You want to try and get that up there. We have that green, and Piranha going to be taking out Phantom there, bringing them all the way down to fourth, and almost gets dragged by Blackout. I don't know how they didn't.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, too. You do have to be a little bit careful of on this track, because if you're following the runners are likely going to be taking those coins. So you do need to figure out how you can put yourself in a position to get more coins later. Bear's only at 3 as well. Bonnie's only at 4. But you can see the drag war. Bonnie loses it, and it looks like Blackout avenges Bear with the fire. So actually, that's going to be Bobby, not Blackout, excuse me there. Switching, switches his combinations up a little bit. And you kind of blend in with other players, but going to gonna get this trick here. You know you could jump off that?
I know I did, but I never get used to how far high up in the sky you actually go. I'm always expecting
it's a drag race. Oh, he took out Jadex there with that trail of the banana, and now there's a battle behind Bobby here. Bear actually moves into first.
Oh, and we're seeing it with the red shell. Let's see what Bear's gonna be able to do here. Gets passed up with the shroom here.
That player had to go wide, by the way. That was Bonnie.
Bonnie here in second place, being able to just bring it all back. Bear backs the item, doesn't land. That's gonna be Bear in first place. Bonnie taking second. And we're gonna be seeing who's in third place. Look at that stare. Look at the crossarm. That's Batter Cookie in third place. And then that's probably Bobby and Blackout following up in fourth and fifth place.
What's interesting there is that Vonnie had the red, but was like, you know what, I'm gonna cut my losses. I'm gonna take second. It's gonna actually hurt me more than help me if I red out Bear, because I don't know what third and fourth place have behind me, and literally all it takes is one hit or two to end your run on a track.
We talk about that all the time too.
Right.
In semis, you want to play it more safe than sorry, because you really just want to get top 6. Once you get into grand finals, now every single spot matters for a higher prize payout. So in semis, playing defensive like that is a completely fine thing to do.
Let's see where we're gonna go next here. We're gonna be going to Hyrule Circuit. Gonna be getting some rupees this time instead of some coins. So,
love this track. It's great. One of the very first of all time DLC tracks that came out in 2016. It's very, very fun. I think like everything about this track is just really satisfying. How to drive on it, like everything about it is really, really nice.
Yeah, you got to run. There's some technical sections. Generally, that final turn. I was watching a meme online today about how everyone just dies on that final turn.
Oh yeah.
Coming to the line, but looking at the standings here, we got a tight one. Bobby, Vonnie, Bear, Phantom, Batter Cookie, Blackout. I mean, 7 points, 8 points, excuse me, separating the top 6. And then when you go to the next page, I mean, Joey is only 3 points behind Blackout there in 7th, and you got Dr. Iggy, Luna Galaxia, Jadex down farther than you'd expect. Mario Party King and Super Dario. It's still anyone's game.
Yeah, it really is, and we're seeing Dr. Iggy. You know what? One of the things that is really underrated and what I see a lot of high division Mario Kart gameplay is when you get hit out, being able to go back and grab items.
Yeah.
Just literally, just don't panic about it. Being able to grab those items, because having, like you're seeing Batter Cookie here, those triple shrooms for the shortcut coming up, as you're going to be seeing him take. He went all the way from 8th to 2nd place, plus some, with trailing now right behind Bear by just going back and grabbing that wide items when they got hit. It's really underrated and it's really well done, and we're seeing Bear, fortunately enough, being able to avoid that green shell.
Yeah, and if you get hit to the back like your Dr. Iggy, right, you got to know that as you get closer to the end of the race, that herd mentality is going to kick in, and everyone's going to want to literally, kill each other with items. So if you can kind of get around the barrage of that crossfire and just work your way up systematically, you'll be in good shape.
And now we're seeing that mushroom dodge coming out from pod number 2, which is going to be Batter Cookie here. Going to be able to have also a green shell. Double item pull has been really prevalent in the semifinals, and it's just pretty ridiculous. Oh, the back green. What are you doing here?
Bear was aware of that. He kind of stutter-stepped a little bit and got out of the way, but can he do it again? And Bear is fine. Might have hit a player later on, but now what's Bear going to do in this situation? He's got to avoid the greens coming from first.
This is actually the most ideal loadout you can get right now, especially going through this shortcut, having the mushroom or holding on to the mushroom through this spot, throws the red forward, but unfortunately does not have the speed to overtake Batter Cookie, who grabbed first place in the 3rd race.
They're going to be getting 2nd, and 3rd is going to be another Waluigi. That's going to be Bobby, who switched off of the orange Yoshi there, and you could kind of see that breakaway kind of appearing there as some of the players in the mid-pack did end up hitting each other out. But man, what an incredible run, and we're seeing some of these top players really kind of taking over now. But look at these points. I mean, this is incredibly tight.
It is.
And
it is.
We still got, what, 3 more races to go here in this semifinal. Oh my lord.
Race 4 out of 6, so 3 more to go. And it's quite interesting because you're seeing like the veteran status, Bear, another Batter Cookie, Bobby, being able to take that no item shortcut as efficiently as you can, and that separates a lot of the rest of the pack from those players who aren't doing that and going extremely wide for those item boxes instead and losing so much time on their lap. It's just a night and day difference in that sort of term and that sort of map. But we are going to the new Wave 3 DLC track. I love that we're seeing so many more of these Peach Gardens.
Peach Gardens is going to be exciting, and that just reminded me too of something. I was playing in a squad queue. Basically, it's like the pickup version of Mario Kart, and we had a 66 match, and we were paired in room 4 of 60. So I was in way above my weight class. And we were playing the Chilean national team with Engel and Sebastian. Literally, I took that cut too high, that Nisk on Hyrule. That plant hit me, and I went from like 3rd to 11th quickly because they're just so good at the game. That one little mistake will just end your run. But this track's pretty interesting. We're going to have a very long lap 3. A lot of time here for players to catch up. And if you are familiar with this track, even if you're down bad after race or lap 2, excuse me, you still got plenty of time on lap 3 to catch up.
Yeah, no, I've actually enjoyed this track a lot more. As you see, fans, unfortunately enough, not getting hit by that green shell, using all the shrooms at once. Don't know if that was the play here. Drabs, an actual pretty decent loadout. Triple reds coming out, throwing 1, 2. That's going to land on Super Dario. Fire gets thrown out. Going to see them work their way up to 8th place. See him on the Mario, gonna be able to drift around. Shot comes out, Blackout gonna be able to grab a single item box, avoids the boomerang, sees the triple greens, but grabs mushrooms, is gonna be huge, puts him up to 3rd place.
Yeah, huge pull there for Blackout, now up to 3rd. He's going to be trailing Jadex and now Bobby, excuse me, out of habit there, who's moved to Waluigi, by the way, or excuse me, Wario on the Wiggler. I
do not like this loadout at all. It's very heavy, very hard to turn on. The drifts do not come out very fast. You're seeing how long that mini turbo, took to come out, but you get a lot more speed for your troubles. Let's see if Jadex is going to be able to compete with that.
Jadex on the inside drifting, 6 coins. Not sure how that's going to play a factor there to Bobby right now, but Sports Joey getting hit out, but does get a box. He does get a star, but he is getting hit out there. It's going to potentially hit Phantom there. Plant coming into play. Joey's got to be careful.
Now we're seeing Sports Joey still here in 7th. Bear dropping all the way down to 10th. Waits for the item box. Grabs not the best loadout, might I say. Dr. Iggy is here. Sees the red triple greens in front of him. Gonna have to slow themselves down. Avoid the trail. They do not. That's gonna be Jadex working their way up to 4th place. Oh, great loadout there. Mario Party King getting bumped to the wall. Has those shrooms though to put him back up to top speeds. That's Bonnie there. Gonna be flying their way into 2nd place, and Bobby having a commanding lead in 1st.
Taking a little no item shortcut there as we're going to the start finish line. Still plenty of time for players in the back to move up here. We see some builds coming out, and Bobby gonna take that one down. It's gonna be Batter Cookie, then likely Mario Party King. They're getting 3rd, and that is gonna be your top 3. And then we have a plethora of players there in the middle of the pack from that one, and that's gonna be a big one there for Mario Party King, who is down by 5 points going into that race from Blackout there on the bubble spot of 6th.
Yeah, it's gonna be quite interesting how that's gonna change it up. 2 more races to go. Race 5 coming up real fast, but still, it's kind of interesting to see like how people manage these new DLC tracks, right? Because you can get a very strong breakaway, because I feel like with these, at least, these new DLC tracks, the tracks are a lot wider. You have a lot more room to play around and not potentially get your entire race ruined. So with a lot more of this spacing, the running potential for these DLC tracks are just that much better. As we are going to Mount Wario, everyone's favorite mountain.
This will be another fun one. Some players really love this. Some players really hate this. Look at the scores behind us. Ooh. Bobby with the point over Batter Cookie, tied with Bear. And look at, oh man, Blackout still on the bubble there. But Sports Joey, Luna Galaxia, and then we got Dr. Iggy and MPK all within striking distance. Jadex as well. SDK even has a chance after some strong runs in the next 2 races to take advantage as well there. So it is still anybody's game.
I cannot wait to see who's going to make it and who's going home, because it's going to be very soon when we figure that one out. Dr. Iggy, unfortunately, getting a really bad draft there, which caused them to get off-centered and going into the off-road. Sports Joey is now here in 7th place. We got the standings right there. Bobby, Batter Cookie, Bear, Phantom, Blackout, and with that top 6 finish so far, and that point total is really close with Mario Party King trailing right behind him. Luna Galaxia also there. Sports Joey also has a potential. Jadex also, Dr. Iggy and Super Dario down there in 12th place. So literally with these 2 races can switch up that 5th and 6th place spot very easily.
Yeah, that's going to be something that's pretty crazy, is that the top 6 is nowhere near solidified. Phantom and Blackout got to be on thin ice here, hanging on in the top 6. But this is an interesting track. Batter Cookie also very strong on this track here. He's waiting, gonna let Jadex take the blue. Wasn't aware of what was going on there. But Jadex actually dodges the blue. Maybe there was some collateral damage to some of the players behind, but now we're gonna have to see what's gonna happen here to Jadex.
Yeah, Jadex really needs this finish at 17 points right now. Not looking good, but if they get 15 points, that's 32 points. That skyrockets them into a position of finishing into grand finals. So let's see what they're going to be able to do here. Going to roll for some more items. Red Shell is here. Batter Cookie going to be the target of said bomb. Grabs the double item box, and now Jadex in first place is looking pretty good. Unfortunately, I just jinxed that, but we'll see what they're going to be able to do. Pops the coin, grabs a double item box, and that's going to be pretty ideal going into this final section.
Now the real question is, what does second have? And second does have another red, so Jadex is going to have to go on a drag race here, but he's still got enough of a gap. Can he hang on? No, he can't. He's going to be in second. First is going to be Bear, who edges it out from the left-hand side using a mushroom. Jadex is going to still be getting second there, and maybe third was Batter Cookie, and yes, it was. Man, I love map reading. You can understand the entire dynamic of what's going on and putting it all together and coming across like you actually know what you're talking about when you're casting.
We got racers on deck for semifinals number 2. This is going to be crazy as well. Aerial Postal, Zobgo, Ankles, Jaguars, Marshall, I'm Streaming Siege, 13, Cass, Big B, Zaddy Longlegs, Taco Cat, and SDK. Get up to the hype tunnel. We'll be waiting on you to get semifinals number 2 started. But this has been insane. That's going to shake up the standings, and we're going to Tokyo Blur, which is one of my least favorite DLC tracks in the game.
Semi-final number 2, man, is going to be even just as crazy, if not more. Oh man, I mean, Siege is like the one, and Siege and SDK I think are going to have to break out with all of those regulars in there. But I'm all for it. But we still got another race to go. No one is out of the woods yet here in this one. Plenty of spots up for grabs here as we're on Tokyo Blur, the final race here of semi-final number 1.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with Bear so far. I mean, this is an extremely tough lobby, and we've seen him actually struggling more times than not in semifinals, I feel like, especially getting like 5th or 6th place. They get, really good spots as well, but being able to just grab, first place after first place on the podium time and time again against this really strong lobby, I am really impressed with how Bear's been playing tonight.
And then when you go back to your mental, right, and I don't necessarily want to get into all the specifics of every player here, but Bear's got the support from the chat. He's got support in the crowd. There's a lot of different factors that can go into lifting you up. It's happened to me actually over the last several weeks. I had a few things that have allowed me to kind of accelerate my mental ability and being reset by maybe certain people or groups of people. So Bear's in a pretty good mindset right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're seeing Sports Joy, fortunately enough, shaking their head. Okay, they got another mushroom after getting hit by that red shell. Jadex battling it out. I don't know what the heck is happening here. Why are they all stopping in first? I do not know what is going on. There's no blue shell on the map just yet. Don't know why the after U's are happening. Pod number 1 going to be hit by that boomerang from the middle of the pack. And now this Luna Galaxia getting trailed out, unfortunately. Gonna throw 1 red forward. This is Jadex in first place. This may be the opportunity they were looking for to be able to take over. Gets their coin ghosted. Batter Cookie is here at first. Backs the banana. Does not land. That's a first place finish for Batter. Second place finish for Jadex. And that seems to be a confirmed grand finals for Jadex.
It could be. It was MPK, Phantom, Blackout, and Jadex fighting for those final 2 spots. Vonnie, Bear, Batter, and Bobby were pretty much locked in if you saw the points up in the right-hand side of your screen. But the question is, out of those 4 players, which 2 will go on and which 2 will go home? Jadex, MPK, Phantom, and Blackout. We saw a little bit of shifting there in the standings, and Jadex definitely won the battle there at Tokyo. So we'll have to see how that plays out, because there's going to be 2 really good players going home after that.
It is. It's going to be a really heartbreaking moment once we get those scores, because when it comes down to it, all of these racers really competed really well, and I would love to see Jadex getting into grand finals just to show, because Jadex was at 17 points. They were on the cutting room floor going.
Jadex was in 10th, yeah,
in 10th place, and being able to just say, even after that, they didn't even get a good spot, and then just having 2 or 3 good races and bringing them right back into grand finals. I just want to put that out there and show that, hey, just because you've had a really bad start does not make it so that the rest of the semifinal races don't matter. It would be a really cool story to say.
And speaking of the story, as we get the scores tallied, let's take a quick look at the highlights here from semifinal number 1. And I'm excited to see what we got going on here. And we're starting with RMC and the entire quarter of the lobby. They're going back. Phantom, this is huge. One of probably the best shocks we've seen in this year from an SNS player, in my opinion, as he just goes basically through the entire field and gets an amazing pull there.
And then we're seeing the Beyblade battle, and then the trailing green. Unfortunately, the lag shows there. The Nintendo net code that we have all grown to love. Super Dario using the fire. Beautiful hit onto 2 other competitors.
JDEX there backing the bomb. Batter Cookie, the unfortunate recipient of that one there on Waluigi. Wait, Mount Warrior, I'm an idiot. Yeah. Anyways,
Waluigi Mountain, yeah.
I was just thinking in my head. I mean, Phantom's shock was really good. I think the best shock that happened this year was the Ankles Sweet Canyon shock.
Oh, that one was ridiculous.
I mean, nothing can beat that. That allowed me to nearly take him out. But I mean, for selfishly though, Phantom shock was ideally the best in his situation, and still was a really phenomenal shock. So
it was, and we're gonna see who's going home with these point totals.
Let's
see it. Who brought it home? Batter Cookie in first place with 69 points. Bear in second with 61 points. Body Grade making it to grand finals with 57 points in third place. Bobby in fourth with 56, and then look at this drop. JDEX making it to grand finals with a fifth place finish with 41 points. Mario Party King in sixth with 41 points, and Blackout missing it by 3 points, taking over Phantom's spot at 32 points. How did that happen?
Yeah, Phantom and Blackout were up in there, and then JDEX and MPK just took the rug out from underneath both of them and said, not today, guys. I mean,
that is insane. And then we got Dr. Higgy in ninth place, 29 points. Sports Joy in 10th with 27 points. Luna Galaxy in 11th with 24 points. Super Dario rounding it out in 12th with 17 points.